Hey everyone, welcome back to POL 935, Computational Social Science. This week we're going to talk about asking questions and the role of traditional surveys in modern computational social science. I have 4 videos for you this week. The first one will just be an introduction to surveys and the idea of the total survey error framework. Then we will talk about non-probability sampling, as well as computer administered interviews. And then lastly, I'll have a video on linking survey data to other data, a topic that we already talked about in some of the first week's videos. Before we get to the actual content, just briefly, let's go through the to-do list for this week. So before our next Q&A session on October 7th, of course, please watch the lecture videos and read the 3rd chapter in our bit-by-bit book, which is what I will focus most on in our discussion this week. And then in our Q&A session, we will discuss an additional paper, which is Andy Guess, Nagler and Tucker, on the prevalence and predictors of fake news dissemination on Facebook. I won't publish. I won't post a video on this paper. We'll talk about it right in the Q&A. But it'll be an interesting. It's a short read, and it'll be really interesting, especially in today's environment. Please read the paper carefully before we get into the Q&A session, so we can have a productive discussion on that as well. And of course, please continue to work on assignment 2, which is posted on Canvas in RStudio Cloud. That assignment will be due on the day following our Q&A session, so October 8th. Lastly, for this week, I want to remind you to start, if you haven't done so already, to start working on your project proposals, because those will be due in the following week. So on October 14th, you'll have to submit your project proposals on Canvas, and then you'll have to review each other's proposals, and then in the following week, we'll have a project proposal session where each of you will present their proposals. So in order to get that started early, as soon as you're done with assignment 2, please get started working on that proposal if you haven't done so already. All right, that's it for the overview. In the next video, I'm going to talk about traditional surveys and how they changed in our or how they changed in the current environment.